congratulations on the show. Really fascinating story and
That,
almost believable that it's actually all real. Um,
yes.
what what was it about the story that made you want to make this, basically?
I'll speak for myself. I'm born and raised in South Carolina. I'm a South Carolina native, so for me, there was a baked in sort of draw to it, and the place and the people in the community, and knowing that I felt like I understood so many of these dynamics and this world, and how this amount of power and privilege over generations forms and calcifies, and then how it can be abused in the ways that it is. And I just but also just like at the heart of the story, there's a family, and I felt like I knew in so many ways knew this family, and then in so many ways didn't. And I felt like that contradiction felt like something that was really, really worth exploring.
What about you, Erin?
One of the most fascinating, complex criminal cases of the last decades internationally. And I think that while UK viewers might not be as intimately acquainted with it, it says so much about American power, greed, avarice, and what we do when we cross the moral line and how far we can go. And so, as somebody who loves to study human psychology, my own and others,
Yeah.
I just like I could not understand how on earth something like this could happen. And so that drove me to say, why, how, and what does it mean? And so Michael and I were able to sort of work on that for many years.
Yeah, it's for Southern Shakespeare, I think, at the heart of it, this saga. And I think it's got all of the human the range of human emotions and complexities within. And I think it feels like something that was really worth exploring in the way that we did.
I mean, I don't know about other people, but I was very much aware of it because, as everyone else, you consume these kind of like real crime shows and
Right.
podcasts and whatnot. I mean, the morality on that is kind of, neither here or there, but at the same time, what was it? Was it important for you to sort of not delve into like the salacious part of wanting to tell these stories? Because real crime, true crime is very popular at the moment.
Absolutely. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, no, go
So
for it.
I've been a documentary filmmaker for more than a decade, and my approach is radical empathy. And what was it like for every single person in the days that led up to what happened versus the day of? We are neither equal to our best or worst action. And that helps us understand everything. And so working with Michael and talking about the very gruesome and upsetting details of June 7th, 2021, the day that Maggie and Paul died, we knew that we wanted to do it in a way that, you know, it was not gratuitous, but also you got the weight and the malevolence of what happened that night. And so really beautifully carried out by our actors, but there just was the thinnest line. And so I think we are constantly, and especially in the writers room with you guys writing, you and Anna writing 106, like understanding how to do that. And so I don't know, 100 hours just went into that question.
Yeah.
And so it was so important to us.
Yeah, I think it's just always remembering that there's real people whose story we're dramatizing, and I think letting that be our North Star and principle for what we're doing, and wanting to make sure that anything we do we understand why we're doing it, and just examining every choice you're making creatively and from a production perspective through that prism, I think is just key.
I think you've succeeded in doing that. I just think it was done with lots of sort of sympathy and empathy for the people, everyone involved. You've got a fantastic cast here, just incredible, really. I mean, Patricia and Jason are just incredible. Almost, I mean, knowing what those people look like in real life, but they really captured the essence of those characters. Talk us through working with those guys.
I mean, they were, like the entire process with them. Aaron directed episode 105 beautifully, and but just every was boots on the ground in that sense, and we were, just watching them get to work every day was just like, a career life highlight, because they are such professionals, but they're also such artists. And, that you talked about sympathy and the empathy. And I think that began with them and wanting to, really capture the essence of who these people are. And I think we thought we had our versions that were inspired by the real people in our heads that we were trying to pour all of that into. And then they came, and it just evolves and takes on this whole life. I mean, the amount of prep that they both did, the insight that they illuminated about this story and these characters that we, in things we never would have even considered, was just remarkable. And I think the transformations really are stunning, and a testament to Katie Ballard and Addison Foreman, our wonderful hair and makeup, who led our hair and makeup teams. But yeah, it was an honor and privilege to get to work every day. And, you'd be watching the monitor and you'd forget that you were on set watching something that you had written or you're producing or you're directing. And it would just be, oh, wait, no, I'm not just watching a show. I'm not just watching a movie in this moment. I'm actually we're here at work, and that's happening, 3 feet away.
And what I've learned is a bad wig can ruin everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Really, really, the big important hires, the DPs of our shows, Roger Chingarian and Matthew Lloyd, our beautiful, wonderful editors, and Katie and Addison, because those Jason and Alec Murdaugh do not look alike, and he needed to pull it off. And so in awe, we bow down.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time again. Fantastically well done, and congratulations again. I think you really knocked it out of the park. It's fantastic.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!